Good morning, everybody. I'm John Clark, and this is the Made in Paradise podcast. I'm here with my co-host, Darin Fingleton and Anthony Ferguson. All three of us reside in Costa Rica, and we are the Proven Performer team. We handle big closeouts. We solve enormous inventory problems. We act like your commission-only purchasing department, and we're some nice guys. We love closeouts. We're going to start the podcast today with our closeout of the day, which is 2 full truckloads of brand new toys. Now, I think gas is twice the price now in the United States that it was since the war started. Is that right, Darin? Up like twice the price. It's a lot.
I know it's expensive.
It's a lot. It's going to get important where merchandise is, because bringing stuff from California is just becoming more and more expensive. These toys, there are 7 different SKUs in this load. We see 5 of them right there. We've got some more pictures we're going to show you. It's 2 full truckloads. It's take all deal, 12,000 pieces assorted from 7 different SKUs. We'll look at some of the other ones here. Tool set. See the knife there on the side, so you can kind of see what size these are. They're big, nice toys. It's kind of cool. Right. 7 different SKUs, 12,000 pieces in total. Understand it's about an even mix. Retail value $25 to $35. The take all deal $4.25 FOB Houston. $4.25 FOB Houston.
Got UPCs?
All got UPCs, all brand new and fresh case packs.
Some nice toys.
It's not an artificial intelligence picture there behind you. Although it looks like it is. Anyway, so reach out to one of us. Darin will put our contact information up on the bottom of the screen. We'd be happy to talk to you about this, any other deals we have available. Tomorrow we'll be doing a summary, tell you about some of the things that are still available. But right now, Anthony Ferguson, what's your question of the day?
Before I start with the question of the day, I'm wondering, of all of these we presented, which one did you like the most?
Of the last 2 weeks?
Yes.
I'd have to go back and look. That's unfair on the spur of the moment. I mean, I can grab my folder and I can tell you, but
yeah, we have some great deals going on. So,
well, I'll tell you this: the one that surprised me the most that hasn't sold is the one that we advertised on Friday, which is the the Sanasol, that disinfectant cleaner that's now 27 cents a can. At least 3 times I've had people say, "Yes, we want that. Yes, we want that," and then they end up not buying it. And it's beautiful. You can go inspect it. You can do whatever you want, right? I mean, it's beautiful boxes, and it's a popular brand name from Spain. And I just can't believe that particular one hasn't sold. But
it's so cheap too. It's 27 cents a can, isn't it?
27 cents a can, yeah. Right, and most of them are the smaller can. That's that little can that's about that big. But just think of those cans to sell them for $1. I mean, that's a great deal, right? Doesn't expire. Yeah. Even the case packs have color boxes around them. It's just wild. It surprises me. All right,
let's go. So, I think many people ask themselves this same question: how can we practice gratitude when things aren't going well? I mean, but literally.
Well, number one, remember, it can always be worse, right? One of the things that my Costa Rican wife likes to say is, "Peor is nada," right? It's worse to have nothing, right? You're eating something and you think, this is not very good. She says, "Peor is nada," right? Be worse if you didn't have anything. How do you practice gratitude? Very simple. You imagine something you love and then imagine losing it. And then you'll feel gratitude right there in that moment. So easy. It's so easy. Just imagine a loved one and say, okay, that person, I just heard they're in a car wreck. And you'll think, oh, fuck. I'm sure thankful for that person. Right? I mean,
or whatever it may be.
Whatever it may be, right? It's like I talk about attachment, right? If we detach from things, we don't suffer as much. But I think about this that was given to me by my mentor, right? And he wore it around his neck, for the 25 years that he was mentoring me. And now I've had it on my neck for 15 years, so 40 years between the two of us, right? And you think, okay, well, I really don't want to lose that. And if I think about losing it, I think, oh, I'm grateful for it, right? Sometimes I look down at the mounting unit and,
my thing was food.
I'm definitely attached to it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say my thinking was food because John and I, we have this ongoing thing of biscuits and gravy.
Oh yeah.
We have been craving biscuits and gravy, and so whenever we get it, I'm so thankful for it because we just don't have that down here.
Norma's in Dallas, Texas. That in particular, I would go there and I would eat biscuits and gravy, and then I would have also an order of cornbread because it's just that good. Ooh. And it's one of those places where you go in. Norma's in Dallas, Texas. Anybody's watching. You go in there, and it's the same every time. There's some old people back there cooking that stuff. Has been cooking it for 20 years. And it's just, everything in there is fantastic. It's all good. It's just all of it. So right down the street from Bishop Hart's in Dallas, Norma's Cafe.
I'd go to the Auburn House of Pancakes. And I think they're now closed, but I used to get the farmer's breakfast, which would come with 2 eggs, biscuits and gravy, bacon, and 2 pancakes. And I'd eat that.
Yep. Good Lord. See, Anthony, there he is, gratitude. But the thing is that, see, Anthony cannot identify with food. And the reason he can't, and because in my whole time knowing Anthony, and taking him all over the place and in nice restaurants. And Anthony, no matter what restaurant you bring him into, he's going to open the menu and he's going to look for arroz con pollo. It doesn't matter where it is. Do you have arroz con pollo? He can eat that rice and chicken every day of his life and still be happy.
Now take that away from you, though, Anthony. Take away arroz con pollo. What are you going to eat?
I was just wondering because, like John said, it's so easy to be grateful when you have things that are going perfectly good, right? I
disagree with you completely.
Why
I disagree with you completely. I think the average human has a hard time being grateful when everything's going good.
Yep. They overlook it completely.
They take it for granted. I do not think. I think it's much easier for a person to be grateful when they don't have, and then they receive.
When they don't have, and then they receive.
I mean, this is one of the things about happiness levels on people in the world. And Costa Rica, again, this year is on the list of the most happiest countries in the whole world, right? And it's not because of the money. It's not the money that makes you happy. It's life that makes you happy, right?
But wasn't
it's
it
very, very?
Finland?
Finland's one of the happiest places. Yeah. But anyway, go ahead. I interrupted what you were saying. You said I think it's easier for people to be thankful, and I said no, you're wrong.
Right. Well, no, I got your idea because I was thinking probably it's easier for them to be grateful because they have all these, like for example, there's a great deal I got it from the recent call. But whenever you're having like a bad situation, like I don't know, your family is in a car accident, whatever, they are so focused on that situation and they cannot see other things that they have in that moment that they could be grateful for, right? I was going like through that line, but you already guided me.
Well, I think that's true. I mean, when you're in a situation that's overwhelmingly bad or negative, right? It's hard to be grateful in that situation. It's hard to be grateful for it's hard to be grateful for what you have when you're in that particular circumstance. So I'm trying to think back, and the first thing I thought of was when my first wife died, right? And I thought in that moment, I can remember having to search for gratitude. So I can remember having to find reasons to be grateful, right? When you're trying to realign yourself during grief. And then I remember the story about a Jewish family, and their daughter had died, and I think she was 9, and the mother, right after the daughter died, picked the daughter up out of the bed and said, "Dayanu," and that means it has been enough, in gratitude to God for the 9 years she had with her daughter, right? Telling God, "Thank you, this was enough. You gave me enough. Thank you." So there she is in a horrible situation, right? But yet she's still saying thank you to God. I wasn't necessarily able to do that in that moment. So yeah, it is hard. It is hard to find gratitude when you're overwhelmingly hurting, right?
Right.
But it's just more important to find gratitude in our daily life, because whatever you're grateful for is going to stay in your life, most likely. And whatever you're ungrateful for is going to go away. It's just going to just move right out because you're pushing it away. You're not grateful for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So are you still grateful for, let's say, what's the favorite memory from your childhood that still make you smile? And are you still grateful for that memory?
Yeah, my when you said that, I thought about my brother built me a fort, a playhouse, and it was big. We had these rubber band guns. So he would cut an inner tube into pieces, into round pieces like big rubber bands. And then you'd pull them over the end of a piece of wood that looked like a gun. It had a piece of leather up here. You'd pull up on it. It would launch that rubber band at somebody. And if it hit them in the skin, I mean, it would leave a mark, right? Yeah. And so he built me this big fort playhouse and those guns, and the neighbor kids would come over. That was the best memory I can think of, and I thought of as a childhood memory. But then I also think about playing Dungeons and Dragons, right? And that group that I played Dungeons and Dragons with, there was about, I don't know, maybe it was 10 or 11 of us that were always kind of together playing Dungeons and Dragons. But over the course of the 3 or 4 years that group played together, we had over 100 people come through our group and play Dungeons and Dragons at one time or another. And so what I didn't realize at the time is how beneficial in adult life it was going to be that I had exercised my imagination that much. Like you know, because first of all, we have to hide it, right? We can't play Dungeons and Dragons and let my parents know, because it's all the churches, they were preaching at the church, if you let your kids play this, they're going to get demon possessed. I mean, I can remember sitting in church and hearing the preacher say that. And so we had to hide everything related to it, right? And I don't know what my parents thought we were doing, because sometimes they'd open the door, right? And we're just all sitting there with books in our hand and just sitting there like, what teenagers just sit around with books in their hand, right? I mean, right. You know, and so I don't know what they thought we were doing, but yeah, we had to hide the fact that we played it. But I had no idea that when I got into adult life, that my imagination would be so vivid, and then how much that would help me in meditation later, right? Or just right. just reading, right? Just the habit of having to read and read and read and read and read. And now, you know, I go through a book every, about 4 days. Sometimes I read one in 2 or 3 days. It's not very long.
Are you able to retain that though? Are you able to retain that information? If a month goes by, are you able to pull something back out of it?
But the thing about it is that I don't want to retain information like I'm not only looking for wisdom, right? So I'm not trying to retain specific information about dates and times and stories or whatever. I'm looking for specific wisdom or some specific knowledge And so if I want to retain the information, if I want it to become part of my subconscious, I mean, there's a book called The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Scovel Shinn. And I've read that book this year 6 times. Wow. And it's not very long, and it only takes me about 3 days to go through it, 2 or 3 days. But the ideas in it I wanted in my subconscious mind, and so I read it over and over and over and over to make sure I obtain those ideas. Now, right now I'm reading a book, and it's about channeled information from a being by the name of Seth. And it was popular back during the 80s when I was young, but anything that had New Age thought during the 80s, if you were an evangelical, they were saying that's all about demons and demon possession and all of that. So I've gone back now to read some things now that my mind is more open. I go back to read some things and say, okay, well, what was this really about? But I'm reading this channeled information. It's a 600-page book. And so I'm about 200 pages into it. I think it's been about 4 days now, 3 or 4 days. And I found some good things in it, but not a whole lot. But after you read hundreds of books on a particular subject, well, you don't find as much as you did when you just reading a few or a handful. Darin, what do you got for us today?
Well, we're going to obviously change some topics and go more down a business path. But if you're looking into the market right now, where do you see that margins have really held up and where they've been squeezed out the most?
You mean about category-wise?
Category-wise, yeah.
Well, I think that anything involved in appliances or electronics right now, that the margins are squeezed. Where margins are good, I don't know. The gas price, right? As I'm looking around at deals, the deals that we've seen this year that are really good deals are deals on canceled orders, right? Something that the vendors canceled. But in the regular closeout market, looking around, it seems like things are more expensive than they have been. Is that a good answer?
That's a great answer. And so do you think over how long, going back, do you think this has changed over time? Has it gotten more and more tighter as we've gone down the road, or?
I don't think that's necessarily true. I think if you look at like the toy deal we have today, hard goods in general, household stuff, furniture, right? The Chinese Amazon stuff, all of that stuff, the margins seem about the same. Stuff is all selling right around 15, 16, 17% of comp, right? So that's what stuff sells for. When it's food and it's dated, the price fluctuates a lot, but the food margins seem about the same. But the electronics, appliances, that kind of stuff, yeah, those margins have been squeezed hard. But you have to think about all the things involved in that, right? Anytime the oil price starts fluctuating on a worldwide basis, it's going to ripple across a lot. And oil and electronics have a lot to do with one another in the end.
Mm-hmm. What's your favorite category that you like working with? You find a deal and you really make you excited that you're just like, wow.
Yeah. It used to be consumer electronics before the margins went out of it. I used to really enjoy that. May the 4th be with you. I love stuff that has to do with collectibles and, especially Star Wars, Star Trek, science fiction, all that. But in general practice, what I sell every day and what I'm most comfortable selling is home hardware. So something that's in a hardware store, right? Tools, home improvement goods, decorative stuff on occasion, but that's usually home hardware related.
And you're able to comp these without even looking it up anymore now, right?
Well, it's not necessarily that. I think you should pretty much always look it up, especially with electronics, because electronics, you're just running straight off the comp, and if it's older electronics, you better know the newer features and how that's dropped. But when you're looking at hard goods, when you're looking at a vase or a mirror or a couch or any of those kind of things, and you've been doing it for decades, then you kind of have an idea what the stuff sells for in China, right? That's one of our one of our previous episodes. We were talking about all of the Chinese Amazon stuff that's in the U.S. market, and they roll it back out again, and they're selling it to you basically at about the same price you could buy it if you just ordered it from China, right?
Right.
So they're not really giving you a deal. It's just on the United States side with the duties and everything paid, but it's not like you're saving 30% if you had just gotten on Alibaba and found somebody and ordered it, and you probably could have ordered a lot less quantity of it.
Right.
So I'm saying when you start to realize, right? You start to realize, okay, that's what it costs in China, and this is really not a deal. And the same thing when you see merchandise in the United States, if you see furniture that's made in China, well, it's what the price of that is. You just say, okay, what's about that price?
Right. You kind of answered my question I was just about to ask. But so when you're looking at these people that are sending everything out, you're always just looking to see, is there a way to know if that's like their actual bottom price? Or when you're talking to someone sends you a deal and you say, all right, well, they want $20 for whatever it may be.
Well, you remember several years ago when we were selling a lot of that stuff, we got very familiar with what the price is and what the chains want to pay for it, or whoever wants to pay for it. We got a very good sense of what all that was, right? Now, I'm still looking at it in case there's a deal, because every now and again they come up with something that's a deal. They come up with something that it's 10 trailer loads, so they're not going to be able to move it. So then that's something where I would say, okay, well, I'm interested in that. But I'm interested in the market, right? I'm just interested continually in what's happening in the market. What is stuff really worth? What is dropping? I mean, and unless you're constantly looking at it, unless you're constantly engaging yourself in it, well, you just don't know. And even when I've gotten out of it to do big projects, got out of it to do the Home Depot project or the big project, like the launch project or whatever. You get out of it for a few months, you got to get back into it again, right?
Yeah.
And especially because you need to know if a closeout's got a problem and it's been around for a while. That's always very helpful to know. Information is extremely important. All right, we're at the 22-minute mark. We are the crew of Proven Performer, and we solve big inventory problems. We always have some inventory for sale. If you'd like to join our email list, please reach out to Darin or Anthony. Anthony se habla español and handles our international accounts that are Spanish speakers. If you want to reach out to him, go ahead, Darin.
Feel free to comment below too. If you don't want to write down our email address down below, we'll contact you through YouTube.
So thanks so much for watching today. And we are the Proven Performer crew. This is the Made in Paradise podcast, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Take care.
Like and subscribe.